Hey guys, it's Leo, and I'm finally back from Sao Paulo. I had a great time at the carnival, even though I am tired, my throat hurts, I think I'm getting sick. But it was a great time. I had lots of fun there, but I'm finally back, and it's finally time to talk about episode 5 of Star TWINKLE PRECURE. Before that, let me just show you what I was able to find. I was able to find the Huggo chewing gums in Sao Paulo. Look at that. It's very cute. I didn't open it yet. Unfortunately, there's this big thingy here right at the front. I don't have no idea why they put it right here at the front. But it comes with stickers. I haven't opened them yet. They're banana flavored. I don't think they're good. I don't know. I haven't tried them. I'm gonna open them later on and I'll tell you what I thought about it. But anyway, let's talk about episode 5. In episode 5, we finally had Madoka turning into Pure Celine, and it was. Oh my god. What a great episode! I'm surprised actually. I thought that this was going to be a very different episode from what it was. I was expecting something else. And I was expecting Madoka to be somewhat of a Reika, Karen type of character. You know, Reika from Smile, Karen from Yes type of character. But I think that she definitely stands on her own when we come to personality and how she deals with things. And I really liked her character. The first thing to notice is that this episode had a very different tone from the other 4 episodes. We had Madoka as the center of this episode, and it really translated into other ways. I think that the main way it translated was into the background music. It was very calm, it was mysterious at some points, and it had a very different tone from the usual uplifting tone we had in the past 4 episodes. I think that it's a reflection of her character, it's a reflection of the type of person she is, and it's also a reflection of the tension of this episode. Because we got to know Madoka and we got to know her family as well. She has a very strict father who works for the government. He has a very important position at the government. And here's an interesting thing. Usually when Precure happens, people in general, they don't know about Precure. They don't know a thing about what's going on. Even though we have like big explosions and things happening at the city, you know, people don't usually know there's something happening there. But in this season, right at the start, we have the government looking for aliens because they know some things are happening. And it's interesting, like right at the start, we have a problem. We have a tension that they have to deal with, you know, because, you know, we're talking about government, we're talking about something serious and something big. And it's interesting, we have like this right at the start of this episode showing that there is something bigger going on behind the scenes that we, the viewers, were not knowing about. And that ties up to what we saw in episode 4 when Madoka saw the girls, like, who is that girl? Who is Fua? What's really going on here? So we got to know that a little bit more, and we got to understand that she wasn't just curious about that. She knew something strange was happening. So we got to know her father. Her father, he seems like a very strict person towards her. He has high expectations for Madoka as a person, and she has to live up to those expectations. And it's very interesting the way he talks to her. Like, okay, I just enrolled you at that school so that you can understand how common folk live their lives. Like, we're higher than everybody else, but you have to understand how people work, you know, how people deal with their lives. That's a very strange thing, out of reality thing for me to think about, but it's a normal thing for him and for his family, I think. And then we got to know her mother as well. Her mother is a completely different person. She seems to be like that type of rich lady who is totally out of tone and who's totally not following the mode of what a noble lady should be. But she's a very famous pianist, and so Madoka's following in her steps, being a famous pianist as well. But it seems that her focus is on archery. But Madoka's very good in everything she does. She has best scores in class, in school. She's the best in everything. And because of that, we got to know another character who we saw last episode as well, and now we know that her name is Himenejo, if I'm not mistaken. That blonde Hime type of character, and I already love her. She has that oh ha ha laugh, and that laugh always gets me. You guys know that. If a character laughs like that, I already love her, and I obviously love her already. She comes from a noble family as well, it seems, and she sees Madoka as her rival. I mean, that's very unfortunate for her because she's not going to be able to beat Madoka in anything. But it was very interesting to see because through her, we were able to understand Madoka and how Madoka is really good at everything she does. But at the same time, she was very suspicious of Lala, and that ended up being a very interesting scenario. And we were also able to see, it was a very nice way, because in last episode, Elena, she simply ran away. She didn't want to know about Precure. You know, not that she didn't want to know, but she had more important things to do, so she couldn't learn Purun's explanations. But in this episode, they went back to that, and we were able to see how Elena learned about Precure and how she learned about their missions and their responsibilities. You know, they remembered that Elena needed to know that, and now she knows. We had a little flashback on that moment. But I think that the main thing was that there are aliens around, and Madoka, being a responsible person, she wanted to help her father. So she knew that there were strange things happening. And that scene when Madoka went after Hikaru and Elena, and then she started questioning both of them, it was very funny, and I loved Elena's expressions at that scene. I'm like, that's gold. I love that. And you know, Madoka's way of approaching that, she was tough. She was tough towards the girls, but at the end of the day, she was able to find girls. She was able to find Lala and her rocket. She already met Fua before, and Fua was very heartwarming towards her. And Madoka, she was the type of person that was only thinking about her mission as her father's daughter. And I think that's going to be a point for her character. You know, I think that's going to be a point for her character because she's going to learn how to deal with the fact that she is a person of her own. And she's not only a reflection of her parents, but she needs to find herself. She needs to find what she wants to do. And when she got there at Lala's rocket, she was very conflicted because she felt that Fua was very heartwarming towards her, but at the same time she wanted to help her father. So she wanted to spill the beans, and she wanted to, you know, tell him about the Precure secret. I mean, she didn't know about Precures, but she wanted to tell them the secrets of the aliens. But Tenjo arrived at the wrong time. She didn't arrive at the right time at all. Because then when she arrived, they started fighting. And here's an interesting thing about the fight of this episode. I feel like when I was thinking about how Celine was going to be born, I was very concerned because I thought, like, we're in episode 5 and Tenjo is going to incapacitate the other cures for Celine to be born already. I mean, are they going to be written as very weak right at the start? But no, her technique in this episode was to bring lots of Not Raiders, lots and lots and lots of Not Raiders, so they would have to fight lots of them. That's what happened, but that's a great thing. I mean, minions are a great way of building up fighting scenes in Precure, and that's going on in this season because, you know, we had a very nice fighting scene. Animation, not the best, but they were able to do something nice with what they had. You know, they didn't have the best animation, but the fighting scene was nice. You know, all of the girls were able to shine. Lala was able to use her Milky Shock, and then Star was able to fight, Soleil was able to kick. It was very nice. But Madoka was the one that had to hold Fua, and then she had to run away. And then at that moment, she was able to connect with Fua for the first time, really for the first time. And she felt responsible for protecting her. And because of that, the Star Pen appeared. That scene was a little strange. Like the first scene of this episode, when she was trying to, use the bow and arrow, the archery, it was a very slow scene. The scene took its time, and I felt that it was a parallel to what happened in the Starpin scene. She took her time to, to understand what was going on, to think about that, and to internalize that, and to actually use that to transform into Cure Celine. She took her time to learn about the situation and what was really going on. And I thought that it was nice. I thought it was great. And when she actually embraced the fact that she was going to become a precure and she was going to do something for herself for once, and, her heart melted away a little bit with Fua, that was great. That was really nice. And I really enjoyed it. I was emotional. I'm gonna be honest, I was really emotional at that moment. And a great transformation scene. I love her transformation, and her tone of purple is really beautiful. And I love her dress. It reminds me of Lunala from Pokemon, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And then her fighting scene was spectacular. I mean, she didn't really fight, but the technique, oh my god. And Tenjo created that Tenjo Storm. I don't remember the name. And then she was right at that middle. And I loved the composition of the scene. I mean, the colors, the way that she was drawn, the way the monsters were drawn, and the way she was able to escape them. And then at the end of the scene, in which she simply entered in the tornado and she just went up. I was like, girl, you got it. I love Celine. I love her fighting technique already. Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. And her power, I didn't really like the animation of her power. I think it was way too simple. But girl, Celine is strong. That was a strong attack. The way the energy beam hit it, and then all of the monsters went flying. I was like, Celine, girl, you are strong. And she was strong. Come on, that was like, oh my god. And I was very happy to see that. And even Tenjo understood how strong she is. And I'm like, yes. And so at the end, she was able to understand the cures a little bit more, and she didn't spill the secret. She didn't tell her father the secret. And it was hard for her. As she said herself, it was hard for her to, to deceive her father. That's an understandable trait of her character. But obviously she was not going to do this. Now she has something to call her own, and something to take her a little bit away of what her parents, maybe not her parents, but her father thinks about her, and how her father tries to insert her into that box, and she has to be that specifically. Now she has something that she is because of herself and only herself. That's a very nice thing, and I think it's going to be like one of the main points of her character throughout this season, and the way her character is going to work, the way her character is going to be developed, and her conflicts and everything. I think they're all going to be around this topic. Right at the end of the episode, we also had a great scene with the 4 girls, with the team being assembled, and the fact that Elena didn't want to be called senpai anymore. And I think that scene was surprising, because I thought that Hikaru was the type of character that would easily call someone her first name. But she was not like that for her senpais. She respected them as elders. But Elena said something very interesting, like, you, Hikaru and Lala, you're both our senpais when it comes to Precure. They're both senpais, right? So, that scene was so nice. It was so funny. I think this team is going to be really interesting. Oh my god, I'm very, very excited for this season. Like, each day I'm more and more excited, and this episode just brought it to me, I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too, because, I mean, the season is being stellar, and I think it's going to be one of the best, at least if it follows this great start we're having. So next episode, Iwan is going to make her first appearance as the villain. It seems like as the actual villain of this episode, and we have a mysterious dark pen appearing. Is that dark pen going to turn out being like an actual pen? Are they going to purify it at the end? Or is that a fake one created by her? I don't know. As we see, each villain has their own way of fighting. That might be her way of creating a scene or anything. So I'm very excited. And in the next episode, that mysterious old man is going to be important, it seems. So I'm curious to see what they're keeping in store for us. Anyways, guys, that was my view on episode 5. Please leave a comment with yours and let's keep our talk in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.